So you want a house hack in New York, huh?
Main expenses that you want to keep in mind when you're considering house hacking in New York. Anybody that's taken out a loan, homeowners, home buyers, investors, main expense that they're most concerned about is their monthly debt service or mortgage. However, a ton of other expenses that you want to make sure that you factor in for any analysis. So to get a monthly mortgage estimate, I like to use mortgagecalculator.org to get the most accurate monthly mortgage estimate for your scenarios and a particular property. I always recommend speaking to your investor-friendly lender. What are those other expenses? We have maintenance, vacancy, CapEx. Maintenance typically includes plumbing, landscaping, cleaning, interior and exterior, inspection, mold, asbestos, insects, and anything else that you need to inspect on the property. The property's in pretty good condition. Use your maintenance calculation to be about 3 to 5%. The property needs significant work, probably going to be paying closer to 8 to 10% month over month until you stabilize the asset. Next, we have for vacancy here in New York, which is roughly about 2 weeks per year. I like to use a 5% calculation, 2 to 3 days to get the place clean, painted, ready for photos. It takes another day or two to get the photos taken, edited, and then uploaded to your MLS or to your online platform for marketing the rental unit. It takes about 7 days to start to host showings for your property, gather applications, and then we move on to the last step, which is another day or two to start conducting interviews, facilitating the lease agreement, setting expectations with your tenant. This should all take about 2 weeks from the minute you acquire the property to getting a tenant in place for your unit. In order to remain at that 5% vacancy, we have a couple of quick tips. First, you want to price your rentals slightly below market rents. This will mean that you will get more applicants and have a higher quality tenant pool to choose from. The next tip is, depending on the New York neighborhood, of course, we typically advise clients to raise rents 2 to 3% per year. Even if you really like your tenants and they really like you, you still want to raise rents, mainly because your property taxes, your insurance, and other expenses will continue to increase year over year. Let's talk about capital expenditures. Includes the roof, mechanical systems, flooring, insulation, and even the monthly use of utilities. You can either have this as a separate expense or factor it in, but depending on the condition of the property, 5% is pretty fair. Now, based on this Queens property, we have maintenance 5%, vacancy 5%, CapEx 5%. If we factor in utilities, which are about roughly $350 a month, that brings us to a monthly expense estimate of about $1,300 each and every month, or $15,000 throughout the course of the year. A couple of expenses that we can omit when we're talking about house hacking here in New York. First expense is property management. If you're going to be living on the property, you're more than likely collecting rents yourself, handling maintenance requests yourself. You don't really need to pay 8 to 12% of your monthly gross income to a property manager to do the same thing. If you want to create more of a layer between you and your tenants, you can use platforms like RentRedi and Hemlane to separate yourself from those tasks. For a small monthly fee, these platforms can collect monthly rent for you. They can even collect maintenance requests anytime your tenant has something to complain about or something that they need to be addressed. The last two expenses that you can omit would be garbage and HOA. Being that you're already paying property taxes in New York City, we're in Queens, thank you DSNY, you don't have to pay an extra fee for garbage. And also, most of the 1 to 4 family properties are not part of HOAs. You don't need to pay a monthly HOA, kind of why we account for that 5% maintenance. If you were purchasing a condo or a co-op, which I talk about in other videos, you would be paying monthly common charges or monthly maintenance fees. Let's save you some money. Just hit us up, reach out to us using the information in the description, and we'll run the analysis for you. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe so that you get notifications for future videos.